It's your girl, Kas the Bestie. We're back with another stream today. And today I'm going to be showing you guys a song that I made, that I put it out on YouTube. But I'm going to be playing for you guys today, just so we can do a song release, a music video release. Now, this music video was just something I did when I was having fun. I was just having a good time. And I was like, you know what? It's time to express yourself as a version of who you are now, not who you used to be, somebody who you grown to be, because it took me a lot. I did a lot of work on myself in order for me to be the person that I am today. If you guys would have seen who I was when I was younger, you would have never thought that I was the same person. But I'm telling you that it took a lot of growth, introspection, understanding that I just wasn't always right. Sometimes I was wrong, and I needed to figure that out. And while in the motions, I was learning lessons and overcoming obstacles, I never gave up. I always have faith, and I always maintained that I knew exactly what I was going to be in my life, and I knew what I was going to achieve, and nothing was going to ever stop me from achieving it. So don't worry about what anybody else thinks about you. Just do what makes you feel good. Do what makes you feel important to yourself, because that's all that truly matters. What matters is you living your life to your fullest and making sure that you're actually happy and that you're feeling blessed, that you're feeling wealthy, that you're feeling healthy. And if you're here today, you're catching this video while it's on the live, hey, say what's up in the chat. Say what's up in the chat. I'm going to be playing this song, Isn't She Lovely? All right, ready? I want to make sure that you guys can hear me first before we even do. Okay, yeah, I know you can hear me. All right, okay, yeah, I know you can hear me. All right, okay, yeah, I know you can hear me. All right, okay, yeah, I know you can hear me. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that was mad funny. I'm sorry, that was mad funny. Oh my goodness, not the sound. Okay, turn off the sound. All right. Wait, can you hear it? Hold on. We're gonna turn this up. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Okay, guys. Thank you guys for watching that with me. That was
Imagine being able to build
wait, pause. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. All right. Thank you guys for watching that with me. That was Isn't She Lovely? That's something I just made when I was playing around. But really, that song, it really, I put a lot of emotion into it because when you overcome things, it's like you have to be proud of yourself. You truly have to be proud of yourself because you could have ended up somewhere else. You could have ended up something else. You could have done anything else with your life. But instead, you choose to overcome. Instead, you choose things that are going to bring you blessings, things that are going to bring you happiness, things that are going to make you smile. So it's like you don't have to worry about these things that are meant to hold you back because at the end of the day, nothing can hold you back but you. The more that you put the effort into yourself, the more that you put the effort into who you are and just be you, and naturally shine, you will be able to be seen by whoever is necessary. It's not about you going to get money, it's about you fulfilling what feels right to you. It's about you doing what makes you feel happy on the inside. And I know the topic of this stream says, is AI making us dumb? But that's not what we're talking about. Let's see. I wonder if it'll, does it let you change it in the middle of the stream or not? Or not? Or not? I did it. Okay. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching that. And follow me on all my platforms, Kas the Bestie, KasTheBestie. Also, subscribe to me on YouTube, Kas the Bestie. Also, I'm Kas the Bestie everywhere, even on Patreon. So if you want to listen to more content, you want to get more Kas the Bestie, you can go find me on all platforms. I'm even on TikTok. I got lots of TikToks. I've been doing this for a long time. And honestly, it never gets old for me. It's never about the amount of people that I'm reaching. It's more about the messages that I'm getting out. Because at the end of the day, I know that there's people out there who need to hear the things that I need to say, and there's people out there who don't have the influences or people in their life that can help lead them in the right direction, or at least give them advice that's not biased, advice that's not going to benefit solely them, or even advice that's going to lead them in the same direction as somebody else that they don't even want to be a part of. You don't want to live your life according to anybody else. You want to live your life according to you and how you feel, what's on the inside of you, because your heart is really going to be screaming if you choose to live a life that's not the life that you want. You'll be living that life and you're going to be feeling like something's missing. And when you feel like something's missing, it's like you're chasing something for your whole life, trying to catch it. When you don't even have to chase something because it's inside of you. It's what you're doing right now. It's what you're like, you just living and being yourself. That's the energy that you need to be in. You need to be able to feel comfortable with just being your authentic self, because when you're authentic, then you don't have to worry about whether people are not going to like you, because you know that you're just being yourself, and the people who do like you are going to come to you, or you're going to be in positions where they will naturally be attracted to you. But it's not the fact that you have to worry about being put in a position with other people who and fit into a society or fit into anything. You have to make sure that you're living according to how you feel within yourself, because there's always going to be somebody else who feels the same way as you. It's just, if you're not being yourself, you'll never be able to, one, find them, and they'll never be able to find you. It's like, if you have a dream that you want to become something, if you don't put yourself out there to go and do it, then nobody will be able to know that that's your dream. How is anybody going to know that you have a dream if you're not following your dream in itself? So that's all you have to think about when you're trying to pursue, fulfillment within your own life, because life is not easy. There are so many heavy things that happen every single day, but you have the opportunity over and over again to choose better for yourself, because it's a journey. It's not something that you have to have all figured out right away. You could figure it out as you go. You can have help, but you have to be discerning and understanding of what's going to be the necessary help for you, because what works for one person is not going to work for you sometimes. So you have to worry about those things too, but not worry. You want to make sure you're paying attention, because the more you're intentional and understanding of who you are within, then you're able to better discern these things. But when you don't know who you are truly, then it's like, okay, maybe this is my path, or maybe this is somebody I should be hanging out with. But when you recognize, when you hang out with them, you're like, okay, maybe we don't clash, maybe we don't mix, maybe this is like oil and water. You have to be able to be discerning of that, and also be comfortable with saying, okay, maybe this is just not for me and I can let somebody else have this opportunity, or this is not for me, or I can let somebody else do this, and that's probably for them. You know, sometimes you don't have to go into a lane of somebody else, or you don't have to get comfortable in a situation that you just don't want to be in. If you want to be out of a situation, all you have to do is put the effort into yourself, because overall you'll be able to overcome. If you don't put the effort into yourself, you'll be putting your effort into everything else, helping everything else get built up. It's like everything that you put your energy into is like a seed being planted. So if you go out and you spend your day doing everything for everybody else and you don't do anything for yourself, you planted seeds that are going to help everybody else grow but you. And that's the most important thing that we have to pay attention to. Yes, we can help other people grow, but we have to also pay attention to making ourselves grow. Because if we don't have our own fruit, if we don't have our own harvest, when it comes time and everybody else has theirs, you're going to be like, hmm, why don't I have anything? Why is everything hard for me? Because when you were supposed to be putting effort into yourself, you were putting effort into everybody else. And these are the things that we have to really keep an eye on, because it's easy to get wrapped up in other people's lives because you are surrounded by people. And sometimes when you're surrounded by people, it puts you in a mindset of, I need to be there for everybody at every second, every time. And that's really like a people pleasing mentality. And if you are feeling that, it's not to say that that's bad on you. It's the fact that sometimes we just have to be careful about who we're giving our energy to. It's not about, you don't have to help people. It's, be careful who you give your energy to, so that when you give your energy out to people, one, they are going to appreciate it. They're not going to take it for granted. And two, you're not going to feel like, one, you're depleted, or you're not going to feel like you should have never did that in the first place. You're going to be in a state of happiness. You're going to feel like what you didn't only bring happiness to them, it brings happiness to you. You don't have to worry about pain. You don't have to worry about the suffering of it. That literally shows you what kind of dynamic is going to be built. You just have to pay attention to the signs, because in relationships, we tend to get caught up in everything being all sweet and beautiful and, happiness. And that's in any type of relationship. It doesn't have to be relationships in love, it can also be relationships and friendships. You can see things in a way that's more of like la 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 la, when you're just living your life and just taking things day by day. And that's okay. You can sometimes take things day by day, but you have to also have those moments of introspection, understanding, is this actually fulfilling me? Is this actually bringing me closer to what I feel like I deserve for my future? Because you don't have to always be in a state of manifesting and building your life, but you have to be in the state of understanding. Because when you're moving through life, you can't just be moving without paying attention. That's the one thing that will get you every time. So just make sure you live in the moment, but also take the time to go over the details. It's like when you get a contract. Yeah, it might seem like a great contract, but you want to make sure you're looking through the details first. Because if you don't look through the details, then you might end up getting yourself in a position where you don't even want to be in. You might be setting yourself to be in a contract with somebody that you cannot separate from, or a contract that's going to put you in a position where you're not going to be in a position where you really want to be. You're going to be in a position where somebody else wants you to be. And that's what really can get us. And we don't want to have to be in these types of positions. So when I tell you these things, it's only so that you can understand what type of things could be going around you when you're trying to build up your goals. Because yes, every single time you're trying to build something, there will be some obstacles, but you will be prepared for them, especially if you're listening to me. Because when I give you these gems, and you'll be able to pay attention, just in case it does come up in your life, you'll have the opportunity to sit back and say, wait, Cass told me this. Cass told me. Cass told me that I needed to pay attention to situations like this, situations that could be draining me, making me feel uncomfortable, situations that could make me feel like I'm losing out on whether my energy, my time, my money, anything. Cass told me about that. So you'll be able to remember, and you'll be able to move accordingly. When you have when you have that contrast, when you have that information ahead of time, you're able to move with wisdom. You don't have to move with emotion, because sometimes that's how life will put us in a position, be like an emotion. Because sometimes things catch you off guard. When you're super happy, that's the time that people want to sell you the most. They're like, they're gonna get your vibes extra high. That's how it works. They get your energy and frequency extra high so that it's easier to penetrate. And then after that, they do what they do. That's why when your energy is high, you got to protect yourself. And I'm not saying, oh, yeah, you got to be scared. No, I'm not saying that. No. I'm saying when your energy is high, you have to make sure that you're around people who are going to make sure that when you're happy, they can also accept that. They can also be in the environment and also be happy for you. Or even if it's not something for them, it's like they don't have to bring your mood down. And sometimes you have to pay attention to the things that are going on around us so that we can even notice that people are just them, and you can't really judge people for who they are. All you can do is accept them for who they are or not. And the people that you do choose to accept, you got to make sure that those are people who are going to not drain your energy. Or if you have no choice but to have those people in your life, make sure that you have boundaries. That's it. Like, boundaries solve lots of problems. You don't have to have the same boundaries for everybody. You don't have to have a boundary for this person that is extreme and this person is extreme and this person. You don't have to have extreme boundaries for everything. Like, no, you just have to make sure that you understand what makes you feel good and what doesn't. So what boundaries and what lines you're okay with somebody crossing, or what space you're willing to give somebody to come into your energy, because being in your energy is a blessing. Being in your space is a blessing, and that's something you have to remember about yourself. Always remember that you are worth people treating great. You're worth people treating you amazing. You're worth people treating you with abundance and love and care. You're worth every single bit of that. So if anybody is not giving you that, then you have to make sure you respect and love yourself enough to say, "Mm, ew, no, no, thank you." Because like, if you're gonna eat a sandwich, right, and you don't like bologna, you're not gonna sit there and eat a bologna sandwich. If you don't like bologna, why would you do that? So why would you put yourself in a position where you have to settle for something that you don't even like? Just cut it off. And sometimes if you're not strong enough, it's like these are things that we work on. You pay attention to how things make you react in life, and then you work on those things. It's easier each time. But if you can recognize that, okay, maybe sometimes I have a problem with ghosting. That's something I used to do all the time. But I can say in some situations, ghosting is warranted, because sometimes people, they will take an inch, and they will, you give an inch and they will take a mile. And so you have to make sure you're protecting your energy. But if it's somebody that you understand that it's just something that's just not compatible, or something that's just not working out, you can have a conversation with them so that you can get what you need to say off your chest. But sometimes when you're in certain positions, you're not comfortable expressing yourself to somebody because you don't know if they're going to try to pull you back in. That's what people do when they really want your energy. They try to pull you back in. And you have to make sure that you're able to say, is this a situation that I want to be around, or is this a situation that makes me feel good? Yes or no. See or no. And that's it. It's literally that simple. But sometimes it feels more difficult because it's things that we're not used to. But the more practice you put in, the easier it gets. I'm telling you. It's just like, what, I've seen it somewhere online, or maybe it was in a movie, but it was like, you need to practice saying no. Practice saying no. I'm pretty sure my therapist told me this too. You need, and this was when I was in therapy. I'm not in therapy anymore. But it's never too late to heal. You should always heal. But I'm saying that back then, like, literally, I had to work on saying no because it was so hard for me. I used to say yes to everything. I used to give people stuff when I didn't have it myself. I used to feed people when I barely had food in my own refrigerator. And when I would give money when I barely even had money. It was like I was putting myself in predicaments where I would struggle for people who wouldn't put themselves in the same position. And the thing is, I never would expect anybody to put themselves in that position But it also goes to show you, when you are in times of need, the people who will be there for you, people who will understand your positions. There are people who were there for me as well. And I always take into account these things, because you have to make sure that you're, one, also recognizing that everybody's in their own reality. Everybody's living their own life. Everybody has their own situations going on. And you can't expect for everybody to be either at the same pace as you, or even in the same space as you, mindset, or anywhere. It depends what area in your life that you're in. And not everybody is in the same mindset. But you have to make sure you're giving people grace and understanding that as well. Because it's not to judge people. As we're all growing, we're all moving forward, we're all becoming who we're supposed to be, we're all becoming. And it takes time, it takes patience, it takes learning, it takes growth. It doesn't just happen overnight. These things are happening with more time and more time as it goes on. So we have to make sure that we're giving people the space to grow, giving people the ability to know that it's okay. But sometimes you have to also recognize when there's people who you got to tell them it's not okay. And that's it. That's all that boundaries does, is boundaries separates what is okay for you and what's not okay. And that will help you bring more better relationships into your life, more better atmospheres, better situations, better everything into your life when you have more better boundaries with yourself, because then you'll be able to put yourself in situations where you're more comfortable, situations where you feel like are going to actually make you happy. But it's only with you being able to trust yourself that you'll be able to do that. Because if you don't trust yourself, if you don't feel like on the inside that you can actually make a safe decision for yourself, it's going to be very difficult for you to have boundaries with other people, because you're going to be looking outside of yourself for people to answer questions for you. And it's not that you shouldn't ask people for help or to ask people questions, but there's sometimes that we have the answer within ourselves, that it's just that we don't want to believe it. We'll literally have the answer and be like, all right, so what do you think? And what do you think? And what do you think? And it's like, you'll know how you feel, but you want validation from somebody else. And you don't need to get validation from anybody else on the way you feel, because at the end of the day, once you finish doing the action that you're trying to do, then you will be feeling free. And you'll be feeling like, I'm glad I got that done. There's a huge weight off my chest. So after you go through these actions, it's like these things, they feel hard. Yes, they feel extremely hard because they are new situations. Anything that's new is going to be difficult. It's like if you go skydiving, you've never been skydiving before. That is a crazy adrenaline rush. And if you go skydiving, you're gonna be like, okay, wait, no, wait. Because you're not gonna be, you don't wanna jump and then not live. Like, it's like you're scared. But it's the overall fact of, you know, that if you were to finish it, you're gonna be like, wow, I skydived. I finished that. I did that. That was so fun. Or maybe you might say it wasn't fun, but you still will say, but I did that though. Check off the bucket list. Never doing that again. That's how I felt when I did cliff diving, right? Oh, okay. When I was younger, oh, excuse me. But let me drink some water before I tell this story. Oh, excuse me. Spilling the water. Coconut water. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay. So back when I was younger, I was a teenager. I feel like I was like 16 or 17. I took a trip to these quarries, and the quarries were in like Tewksbury, Massachusetts. And I went with my friends and their family. And while I was there, I was like, one, I'm really not that good of a swimmer. I'm only like an okay swimmer. Like, I'm only like a so-so swimmer. And like, I also, I got asthma. So I was like, oh my God, I don't think I could do this. But in my heart, I was like, I want to do this. Like, this looks so fun. And I'm seeing everybody else do it. I'm like, dang, I got to do this. Like, I don't want to be chicken. I don't want to be, I don't want to be scary. Because really, back then, I had this feeling like in myself, like, I'm not scared of nothing. Like nothing scares me. But that right there puts a fear in my heart. That right there made me value my life so much because I literally almost lost it. So okay, back to the story. So I'm like, all right, it's my turn. I'm like, okay, they tell me how to do it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do it. So I go and I run and I jump. And then I put my arms like this. And then when I went into the water, I kept my eyes closed and my feet, like I was just like this, like the way so it don't hurt myself. However, I still did hurt myself because when I hit the water, my butt was like right onto the water. So as I'm going down in the water, I recognize, wait a minute, I'm in the water. Like I could open my eyes now and I could put my arms up. So I could, and I was also scared because before I went in there, they told me that somebody had went into those quarries and jumped in and they passed away. Like they jumped in and their foot got stuck on a car and they got stuck and they literally drowned. And I was like, oh my God, we're jumping to that. Like you over here telling me scary stories. I was like, oh my gosh, no, I'm scared, but like now I still feel like I have to do it because then I'm gonna be even more scary. It's like, oh, you're scared of this, you're scared of this, and I'm like, I'm not scared, I'm not scared. So I had to psych myself in, but I'm in the water, and I was like, okay, all right, I can bring myself up. So I'm like, I'm seeing myself because I was going down a lot, and I was looking at myself like, well, I'm thinking to myself like, oh, hurry up. So I'm trying to go push myself up. Going up in the water, and I finally make it to the top. Oh, I was like, okay, yes, okay, I made it. Then after, I think my friend jumped after, and then we were all going back up. But then they're like, yeah, let's swim to the other side. I was like, you know what? I don't think I could swim to the other side. I don't think I could swim to the other side because I got asthma and I could swim, but like I also got asthma, so like I don't want that to conflict each other, right? So I'm like, they're like, nah, we got you. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. So as I'm sitting here, okay, I'm not worrying. All right, we're gonna swim across. We're gonna swim across. All right, so I'm swimming, and I get to the midway point, and I'm like, I was like, oh my god, hold on. Like I'm doing good, but I'm like I'm still feeling like I'm not getting anywhere after as I'm getting so far. And I was like, hold on. Like I'm like catching a panic attack. I'm like, I can't breathe, y'all. And I'm still trying to swim, but I'm like, y'all, I can't breathe. And then my friend's like, what? And I'm like, I'm telling her, I'm like, I can't breathe. And she's like, hold on, wait, hold on. So she's like trying to come to me, but then she's like, wait a minute. Like she understood that if she was to come and help me, like I would probably pull her under. So she tried to like give me her shoe, but her shoe, like I was like, what's this supposed to be? A floating device? Is this a floating device? But I was like, I ended up, I threw the shoe because I was like, this is not helping me float. I was just, but I wasn't upset, but it was just like, oh, like, this is not helping. That's because I was low key panicking. And then I was like, okay, let me try to swim. And I'm still not making it. So I was like, okay, let me just try to float for a second. So I'm trying to float and stuff. And then her aunt is over here screaming, trying to wave somebody down, trying to help to get somebody to help me. And then one of her cousins jumps in the water and she tries to help me too. But she's smaller than me. Like she's smaller than all of us. But she's the best swimmer. She was the best swimmer. But she came to help me. But literally as she came to help me, like I'm trying to hold on to her and I'm literally pulling her under. So she had to like kick me off her. And I really did it. Like, I didn't feel no type of way about it because like I understood. Like I was pulling her under. But that kind of helped me for like like an extra second or two so that I can actually like float a little bit. So after that, I got less panicky and I was like, you know what? I just need to breathe. So I was just started breathing. Because let me start by saying, before this, I always used to say, I cannot float. I never could float all my life. For some reason, I felt like I could not float. And when I say float, like I'm talking about float on my back or just float in the water. Like I felt like every single time I would float in the water, I would sink down. I'm like, I feel like I just got heavy bones or something. But I felt like I was literally sinking into the water. So as I'm sinking into the water, I'm like, okay, let me breathe. And then I slowly started floating. I slowly started floating. I was like, okay. And I floated for like a good 3 seconds. And then I started drowning again. So then I'm sitting here. Now I'm like really drowning. Like at this point, I'm seriously drowning. And I'm just like, like about to go under. And at this point, I was actually thinking to myself, I was like, you about to drown, girl. You're just about to drown. You're about to drown. Like, and I really was like, you know what? but I'll let it go because clearly I'm not being safe. But in this moment, I'm literally just thinking this to myself. I'm thinking it over and over and over again. And then out of nowhere, I hear something. Splash! A man jumps off of the cliff we jumped off. Mind you, the cliff that we jumped off was 60 feet. He jumps off. Mind you, he had red shorts on. So I'm like, oh my God, David Hasselhoff, lifeguard, coming to save me. So I was like, okay, I just gotta hang on a few more seconds because I was in the process of letting go. Like I was already like succumbing to the fact that I was about to drown. And then I'm telling you, I peed myself. That's how serious it was. Like I was like about to cry. I'm about to die. It's not funny, but that's literally how I was thinking. I was like, oh my God, why would I do this to myself? And then I was like, okay, the guy came and he saved me. He saved me. He came swimming super fast. He was a good swimmer. And then he grabbed me and he had me like this. And I was in the water like this. And he just pulled me through the water. And he was like pulling me and I'm just in the water like and I'm still breathing because I could breathe out my nose, but the water is getting in my mouth. So that's why I was like, but he saved me. I was like, OMG, like, and but at that point in time, I was still childish. So in my mind, I was like, dang, if this was somebody that was just like somebody I liked, I would have kissed them. But that's how I was. That's literally how I thought as a teenager. I was like, girl, you were shallow. You were shallow. But that's how they see. You see how you grow from things? You grow from experiences because when you go through things, you actually learn. But if you don't learn, then you go through the same experiences and you possibly could really not get the outcome that you want. Like I feel like in that moment, God saved me. Like God literally sent that man to save me because I was like, I'm telling you, I was probably drowning for a good 5 minutes. And they say that people drown in like what? A minute? Like 2 minutes? So I literally was drowning for a long time. And that guy jumped in and saved me. I felt so like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I was sitting there like, he really saved me. Like, I wanted to cry, but it was like such an emotional moment. And there was other people there. So it was like, and there was somebody else there who he was trying to save me too. But he couldn't save me because he couldn't swim. So it was like I felt really bad, but he was crying because he couldn't save me. But I was like, thank you for trying. Like everybody who tried to save me, I felt so blessed because I was like, thank you so much. Thank you so much because you guys really did try. You guys did everything you possibly could. I'm not gonna lie. They really did try. But it's like in the end, it's like I think it was like like everything in conjunction added up to me surviving. So it was like, wow, look at that, look at God, amen. I'm telling you, there's been so many instances that God and my intuition saved me. But at that moment in time, I literally had no intuition. I had no intuition. I was doing the dumbest things back then. I was doing the dumbest things. And sometimes I would think that I had my intuition, like thinking like, I shouldn't do this. Like thinking back now, I know that that was my intuition. But back then, I didn't realize that that was my intuition. Now I've had gone on my spiritual journey. I've been able to actually learn about myself and about my gifts and about the things that I go through and how they've helped me build myself to be the person that I am today. It's like a mind-blowing thing. It honestly is mind-blowing. And that's why I always say people really need to take time to one, just learn themselves. Go on a journey with yourself so that you can actually find what's true to you because you'll never you'll never realize what little gems can happen on your trail and what situations can happen that can change who you are as a person. Like if I would have never did that, I probably would have been a really like a real like daredevil because I always like to try new things. I always like to do things that were like fun. Like I'm like a let's have fun type of person. Like I always want to have fun. Like because I'm a fun person. Like I feel like when people are not having fun, when they're not being true to themselves, it's kind of like man energy. Like you're bringing the vibes down. You're bringing the energy down, my friend. And that's why we have to make sure we stay inside of energies with people who are actually going to be able to not bring your vibe down, especially if you have a naturally high vibe. If you're a naturally high vibing person, a person who naturally is just happy, in a good mood, like people smile when they see you, if you're just a light, you have to make sure you're staying around people who are also those type of energies, like who are also lights, because then your light will only shine brighter. They won't try to dim your light and you won't try to dim theirs. And if it's ever a situation like that where it feels like that is happening, it's sometimes we have to either one, do introspection on ourselves, figure out if it's us first. That's what I always say. Don't project first. Always figure out if it's you first. Because sometimes it really can be us, but you have to make sure you introspect. When you introspect, you're able to see things from another perspective, because sometimes you could feel a certain type of way and it's not necessarily because somebody else is making you feel that way. It can be because you have those emotions within you, like embedded in you, and they need to come out, and they're coming out because the situation's being triggered. And those are opportunities that we have to really look within ourselves. We have those opportunities to really go deep dive in within it. And let me tell you, sometimes when I really want to clear my energy, I do guided meditations with myself, and I listen to some good music, like some frequency music, the high vibrant frequency music, and I just sit and I close my eyes, meditate, and I think about me being inside of my brain. I think about me decluttering my brain. I literally think about me setting up my brain in a way where it's a new office space, say like that, because your brain has a lot of data. So I'll think to myself about me putting a brand new setup for my new data system where we're clearing out things that are no longer necessary for us, not things that are no longer needed for us to be in the reality that we're in. So I just do that, and I take out anything that feels like it's cluttered or like coming out that doesn't feel like it's fitting in any files, and I evaluate, is this something that I need to keep on my brain? Is this something that I need to keep thinking about? Is this something that I need to worry about? Or is this something that can really be filed away? Or better yet, throw it away in the shredder, in the garbage, and it's sent away in the dumpster. That's my favorite part. I put it in the trash, I put it in the dumpster, and I visualize that dumpster getting picked up by a garbage truck, and the garbage truck driving away in the sunset, never to be thought of again. It's like sometimes you have to really, really think and use your imagination within your own brain so that you can visualize what you truly want to happen. Because if you can't see what you want to happen, if you can't visualize it, if you can't think about it, then it's like it's going to be able to stay there, ruminate. And sometimes it's like having a dream of something that you want to achieve. If you want to achieve a dream, you have the vision of it. If you dream of it, or you're able to like visualize it, or even think about what that could possibly look like for you, you have a direction you can head in because you can visually see what that could be. But if you can't, if you, or you don't try to visualize it for yourself, or even try to write it out for yourself, try to be able to conceptualize it, like just like when you read a book and they describe it to a T, to the point that you feel like you can actually see it. It's similar to that. You have to be able to actually visualize these things so that you'll be able to cultivate it for yourself. And when you do that, then it helps you bring yourself to the position of being able to open yourself up in your mind. You'll be able to experience certain things, not experience certain things, but like experience certain aspects of yourself that you keep hidden. You see, it's like things in the world are not black and white. They want everything to seem like this is normal and this is not normal. But isn't it funny that a lot of the things that people tend to see as not normal or tend to be the things that make other people happy, and it's just not normalized? And that's the thing. Things that are not normalized don't have to be like mainstream. You don't want to have to focus on mainstream things. You want to focus on what feels right to you. So if you focus on that, then you won't have to get caught up in what's going on over there, and you can keep your eye on your target. You can keep the eye on what you're doing, which is going to continue building you up. It's going to continue helping you manifest what you want to manifest. And while if you decide to do the guided meditation, excuse me, I'll even put out a video on YouTube so that we can do that together. But if you want to participate, I think that I have one on my YouTube page already. But you just have to be able to go through your mind, go through your chakras, go through your body, and like understand like where the feelings are. You know, sometimes like you'll be like thinking of so much, you get a headache, or you're thinking of something over and over again, overthinking. You know that feeling when you feel like your brain is cluttered. It's like those moments, or when you feel like your heart is heavy, when you feel like you have something on your chest, when you feel like a weight is just, it's like something is blocking you. That's what I do those type of meditations for, so that I can clear those energies out. Because when you clear your energies out, it helps you be able to see things from a different perspective, and feel lighter, feel like you don't have to keep these things within you. You can actually let it go. A lot of things hold us back because we're harboring it, and sometimes we have to be able to, one, understand that yes, it has happened, but we have to be able to accept it so that we can move forward, and move forward with the next steps instead of staying in the moment. That gets us trapped a lot of times in life, but it's okay. Life is a growing process. Nobody has all the answers. But I can tell you that if you are looking for unbiased answers, I've had a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom, and a lot of knowledge that I've learned. I even through school, because I'm one of those people who can connect things easily. I I remember it was in my philosophy class. It was super funny because in philosophy class, I'm thinking, we're in philosophy class, like we could philosophize, thinking we could be philosophers in here. And in that class, I seen that it was more of that. I was supposed to be I was supposed to be putting the work into just copy and paste what I learn. And I'm really not that type of person. I'm one of those people who actually critically think. So it was like every single time we had a homework, it was so funny because we'll have the homework, I'll write my little excerpt for the discussion. Then we'll go on to the next section, and we'll be reading the next section. And my answer to the last question led into the next question on the discussion. And I always be like, dang, yeah, because naturally I'm like, this is like, I'm not understanding. But then I recognized I was in philosophy 101. They said this, we're just learning about this. We're not being the philosopher. But I feel like that helped me feel comfortable with myself and understanding that I do have the knowledge. I do have the keys. So that's the reason why I pay attention to the things that are going on around us. I also pay attention to research and other things. Life is a big, big, big thing, and you should always try to search for more. I mean, if you want to. If you're watching me, I feel like you're somebody who would search for more. And if you are, type that in the chat, or say what's up in the chat. Put some hearts in the chat. Say hey. 'Cause I know I've been on here for like 42 minutes. I want to see who's in the chat today. If you guys are catching this on the recap, I want to say thank you guys for catching this on the recap and catching this live in action. I appreciate you if you were able to see the video that I put on earlier. I will bring it back in like 17 minutes. I'll rerun it again just so if anybody didn't get to see it, they'll be able to see it. But yeah, everything I'm talking about today, everything just leads into each other because everything is connected. Everything is connected. Every situation you can learn from, you can grow from, you can become more from, you can experience more from, you can understand more about yourself from. And these are the things that are supposed to be important, but they try to make it so it's not important to us because they don't want people to be actually finding personal fulfillment. They want them to be lost in the sauce. They want people to not be focused on what's important to them and what would make them happy. And honestly, if people want to live their life that way, that's how they want to live. And you have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with that. However, I know for my reality, I want people to be able to live a happy life. And I put out that energy to people because that's the people who I want to have around me. I want people who are be able to feed into me the same way I feed into them. And I'm not talking about feed into me with money. I'm talking about feed into me with energetic, good energy, like motivation, things that are not going to keep you trapped. Because sometimes when people are in confusion or in the trapped energy themselves, even though they might have the best intentions for you, they can put you in a state of being trapped too. They can put you in a state of being confused as well. And you don't want to be stuck in that position as well. So that's why we have to make sure we have boundaries with people and let them understand that we appreciate the love and admiration and the effort they put into us by giving them the effort that they give to us as well. But you don't have to overextend yourself if you are not being overextended to. You can overextend yourself if you feel comfortable doing that, but you don't have to. You're not obligated. You're not forced to do anything that you don't want to do in life unless unless you're somebody's child. If you're somebody's child, you better listen to your mama and you listen to your daddy. But if you're under the age of 18, I'm saying. But if you're over the age of 18 and you're a grown adult, especially if you're doing the things that are necessary for you to actually build a life of your own, then you should have the authority over your own actions. But you have to make sure that if somebody's giving you good solid advice, that to listen to it 100%. Excuse me. Call those spiritual burps. When I was younger, I was a hard head. I had a very hard head. I really didn't listen to anybody. But it's not because I didn't want to listen to people. I did listen to some people. Like, it was like people who I looked up to. But it's like back then, listening to people felt like, listen to you. Why? You're not showing me a reason to listen to you. That's literally how I used to think back then. I still think like that. Because the thing is about it, I listen to people who prove and show me, and through their actions, through their words, that they are somebody worth listening to. And you will see the fruits of their labor if somebody is worth listening to. If somebody's worth listening to, they will be focused on their own life. And if they come out of their way to even talk to you or even to give you a few gems, then that's a blessing, because some people who focus on themselves, it takes energy out of what they're doing to focus on you. So that means that you have to make sure that what you're giving in the situation and what they're giving out is the same type of reciprocation, and vice versa. People have to always treat you with reciprocation. What you're always worthy of that. You'll never not be worthy of reciprocation. It doesn't matter what position you're in. It doesn't matter if you're dating or marrying somebody who has more money than you. They still owe you the respect that you deserve. And if they don't give it to you, then you have to be able to be willing to sacrifice that, because that's not a blessing to you. Your blessings are things that are actually going to make you happy. Your blessings are things that will suit who you are as a person. It's going to match what your wants and your needs are. It's going to actually feed your soul. Your blessings, you'll know, because it'll make you feel like you glow from the inside out. It's not going to make you feel like you have to become anything else. It's not going to make you feel like you have to shrink. You're not going to have to feel like any type of friction that's going to make you stop being who you are, fulfilling the purpose that you have in your own life. Your blessings are your own. So that's why you have to be able to be discerning of what blessings and what things are blessings. Like, just as I said about the relationship, like if somebody makes more or vice versa, if someone makes less, you have to also treat them with the same respect. Even if they make less, they can contribute in another way, and they can also grow in another way. But you also have to make sure that you're not going after people or going into situations where you understand that somebody is not meant for you, and you try to help them become what you want them to be, because that is delusion. And I'm not going to say that in a bad way. I'm saying that because I've been delulu before. I've been there. I have, because that's a part of growing. You had to go through it to be able to talk about it. You have to be able to overcome something to be able to say something about it. Because when you stand on business about yourself, you learn so many things about yourself. And then you understand what feels good to you and what doesn't feel good to you. What's going to be important to you, what's not going to be important to you. It's all about you understanding you. And you can't let anybody come in between your relationship with yourself, because that's the best relationship that you have. Your relationship with yourself, because that's where it starts. If you can't have a relationship with yourself, you can't have a relationship with anybody else, because you're not going to be happy within yourself. And those people, they're also not going to be happy. And if they are happy, that's because they're happy seeing you unhappy. That's literally all it is. That's how you determine. It's easy for you to determine it after you see it. But if you don't see it, or if you don't know, or if nobody ever tells you, you won't be able to discern. So it's like, that's why get on here and I tell you all the things that happen in my life, because why would I keep it a secret so that somebody else can go through the same things that I had to go through? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And in addition to that, I don't look at my life as a like, oh, boo hoo, I went through that. No, I don't. If I didn't go through the things that I've been through, I would not be the person I am today. If I didn't go through any of the experiences, I wouldn't have the confidence that I have within myself today, because everything that I went through made me into a warrior. It made me really into like a person who was very self-assured, a person who's very whole. I learned how to grow and to be my own person, and then also have healthy relationships with other people. And this is all things that it comes with taking time to actually grow, and actually recognizing what is important to you, what is comfortable to you, so that you can set the precedent when you meet people, so you can set the standard when you're in conversations with people, so that people don't try to treat you how they want to treat you, because they only know how to treat people a certain way. You don't have to accept any type of treatment that doesn't feel good to your heart and your soul, even if it's somebody who you're related to. I've had to cut off family members too, because I really just don't play about myself like that. You don't let people into your energy just because they say that they love you or they say that they care about you. People have to actually be able to demonstrate that. I'm not saying they have to give you stuff. I'm saying that their actions and their behavior has to show you that they care about you. And when their actions don't, you'll be able to tell, because their actions won't make you feel good. And if their actions don't make you feel good and you tell them, that's the major part, communication. You tell them that their actions are not making you feel good, then they'll be able to tell you how they're feeling. And if they choose to take the conversation in a direction that's not healthy, or in a direction that's not going to make the situation better, then that tells you all you need to know. All you have to do is be able to be comfortable with just having conversations. Communication is key. And you want to know why they say that? Because communication unlocks the doors to opportunities that didn't exist before you said that the thing that you were willing to say with the communication. When you communicate, you're able to step into a different timeline. You're able to step into a situation that probably wouldn't have occurred if you didn't say something. Let me tell you a situation I can completely attribute this situation to. Wait, I'm gonna drink some water. Mm. All right. So the main situation. Whoa, excuse me. Excuse me. So the main situation that I think about is in that show, Top Chef. I don't remember what season it was, but there was this girl, and she was on there, and she was literally getting voted off. They said, "Yeah, you gotta give us your apron, pack it up." And she said, "I don't believe I should go. I think I should have another chance. I believe I deserve another chance." Do you know that they let her stay? Do you know that they gave her another opportunity? And you know that that's the thing. Communication can really change the outcome of things, but it's understanding what opportunities are worth speaking up for, and what opportunities you could really not have to care about, because some of them, they're just going to drain your energy. But some situations are going to put you in a position where, one, you're going to be more confident in yourself because you were able to speak up, you were able to overcome. And two, you'll be able to have a different outcome than the outcome that you were already going to get. Sometimes speaking up is all that needs to be done. But if you just sit there and take it, or take whatever energy is being sent to you, then it's going to stay. It's like me, you're not going to send me negative energy and me not send it back. And I'm not saying I throw energy at people. Absolutely not. No. All I do is I pray. God, please protect me. And anything that is sent to harm me, return it back to its sender. Because I I already know that what I focus on is going to be for me. The more you focus on negative energy, the more negative energy is going to be in your life. The more negative energy is going to stick with you. That's why I say vengeance is of the Lord. Like, and even if you're not a religious person, even if you're not a spiritual person, honestly, I'm an omnius. Like, I believe there's truth in all religions. I do believe in God. I believe in source and most high. I have angels. I got my spirit team. But I'm just saying, when it comes to negative energy, you don't want to be out here sending negative energy to people. And sending negative energy to people can look like you talking about people, you gossiping about people, speaking bad about people, even like just thinking bad about somebody, hoping bad for somebody. And it's like you could be putting that energy into thinking about something that could be benefiting your life, making you grow, making you become something better. That's the way I think about it. So anytime I'm in a situation where I feel like I'm being like put in a position where I'm supposed to be angry or I'm supposed to be sad, I don't think of it like that. I transmute that energy. I take that energy and I say, okay, I could be, what is it that I can be doing better with my life than focusing on this? Because clearly this is not something that's worth my time. Clearly this is not something that's worth my energy. And you know that I say so much, I focus so much on energy and time because why? Time is the one thing that you cannot get back. You cannot buy time. You can only buy money. You could buy everything else in the world, but you cannot buy time. They even make you buy water. The water from God, the one that He gave us on this great earth. I'm telling you. So the thing is, like, you have to make sure that you're focused on yourself. Make sure that you are channeling your energy into things that are more beneficial for you. Literally, you can get inspired by situations that you're in order for you to achieve something else. Take that. Take that. It's like that's serious alchemy. That's transmutation. That's taking that negative and turning it into a positive. That's defeating the odds. That's overcoming what people wanted you to succumb to. And it's like you make sure you choose yourself. You fight for yourself every single time. Because every single time that you choose yourself, then you're able to continue to cultivate a life that you want. Even if the life that you want isn't coming right away, sometimes it takes time to work towards the life that you want. It takes time, patience. So you're building, you're creating, and you're understanding. You're going and doing introspection, you're healing, you're working through problems, you're growing. You're becoming a better version of yourself. Some people might even look at you as a different person. They might see you as somebody who has become something that they don't even recognize. And it's because you're taking the time to work on yourself. And when you work on yourself, your taste changes. They say that all the time. But I'm not saying that it has to change in a way where you become a materialistic person. I'm saying in terms of life, you change what feels acceptable to you. It changes what you want to be around, the energies you want to be around, the atmospheres you want to go to, the jobs you want to work at. It changes you from the inside out. And as you start changing from the inside out, you will naturally try to go and get the things that you want for yourselves, and you will naturally be able to sustain it because you have the energy, you have the input to put it in. You have that to put it in now. Before, if you don't work on yourself, you don't heal, you don't grow, you only have the mindset of what you had before. You only have the mindset of what you were previously working with. But when you work on yourself and you put yourself in different environments, you're actually changing your own perspective. You're actually helping yourself grow. And like, yeah, yeah, after we grow up and we move out of our parents' house, we still have to grow. We still have to make sure that we're taking care of our own self. And that doesn't only mean just by feeding yourself, clothing yourself, paying your bills. It means by making sure that you are understanding how life is flowing and how it's going to flow for you. Because yes, we might be living in the moment, but the future will be coming one day. The future will be a thing. So when you recognize what you want for your future, it helps you get to your future faster. And then you can live your future in the closer proximity, not in the far. It's like, oh, like when you think of the future, people think of the future never happens. The future never comes because you think of it as the future. It's like the future is always going to be the future. Like in the future, I want to do this in the future, in the future, in the future. But when you say, when I turn this age, I want to be able to say I can do this. If you can say by this age, I want to be this. Yeah, it might not be exactly at that age, but it will have a greater effect than if you were to sit there and say, yeah, in the future, one day. You have to be able to name it. You have to be able to put your words on it so that it can come into fruition. Speak it into existence. Yes, speak it into existence. Manifestation. These are all things that are all interconnected. And when you work with these things, it helps you grow. It helps you build yourself in the world. There's actually been times that that I spoke about different world laws and universal different universal laws. You know, sometimes I speak a little fast because I just have all these downloads coming to me. So when I'm talking, I'm trying to say everything at once. Hold on. I'm going to actually get them written out for you guys so that I can go over them with you. It's the laws of the universe, the universal laws. And when you know the universal laws, it's easier for you to work with them because then you'll be like, oh, I'm working with the laws and not against them. All right, first we have the law of divine oneness. Everything is interconnected. Every thought, action, event affects the whole. That means that every step that you take is going to affect you in totality. So that means every move that you make is going to bring you to a certain outcome. If you are to take these steps, then you're going to get to this place. Now, if you don't take the steps that are going to get you to those places, it's not going to get you to that place. If you don't make those steps, you might not make this outcome happen. It's like you have to be able to understand that, yes, everything that you do is necessary to be done in the moment. That's like when they say, when you're manifesting, you have to become what you want. You cannot say that I am going to be this. You have to just be it. It's like you have to be it, because if not, how are you going to manifest it? If you want to manifest something, you have to be able to be the thing that can manifest it. It's like saying, oh, I want to make $1 million, but you have to it's like saying you want to make $1 million, but you're not trying to do anything that a millionaire would do. If you want to be a millionaire, you got to know what the things that millionaires you have to know the actions that millionaires take in order to be a millionaire, so that you can even maintain being a millionaire or even try. Because if not, you're going to lose it. It can come quickly and it can leave just as quickly. The same thing, law of vibration. Everything is constant motion, vibrates at a specific frequency, influencing experiences. So, law of vibration, it's like your own frequency. That's why it's important for you to understand your own frequency, your own energy, your own power. Because when you understand your own frequency, then you'll be able to understand what things you can actually bring forth into your life. For example, if you know that you're a very high vibrational person, you're a very happy person, when you go around people, you make other people happy. You can use your energy in a way that it's going to make good things happen. And I'm not saying like, oh, you got to force people to do things, you're doing magic. No, I'm saying your good energy is going to bring good energy around you. And it's like saying, right, when somebody tries to talk to you and they're upset, if you kill them with kindness, like, or if you're super nice, like, they really cannot get angry. Like, they can't be mad. They could be mad. They might be mad on the inside, but they're gonna feel like, dang, I'm being mean to this person and they're not being mean back. That's literally the same thing. Then we have the law of correspondence. Patterns repeat across the universe. As above, so below, reflects in inner states and outer reality. So it's the same thing as just what I was saying about the divine oneness. These are similar laws. It's saying what you have inside of you, in order for you to have something outside of you, you have to have something inside of you, right? So if you want to be able to experience love in your life, you have to be able to give that love out. You have to be able to be in that love frequency. You have to be able to be in that loving energy, because if not, you're not going to be able to receive it when you get it, or you won't be able to receive it or be able to see it. You won't be able to recognize real love. You'll only be able to recognize the energy that you're in. So if you want to cultivate something in your life, you have to be able to receive it from the inside and then out. Work on yourself first, and then your universe will be able to match that reality. But until you work on yourself, you won't be able to do it. It's like understanding that, okay, if I can't jump rope and I don't practice the jump rope, I probably will never be able to jump rope. Law of attraction. Like attracts like. Your energy thoughts draw similar experiences. So your energy, the frequency that you're in, is going to draw in those energies, those realities for you. So if you're in a toxic mindset, you're typically going to be drawn to more toxic people because you're in that toxic mindset. And those people will be attracted to your energy. Even if you're not naturally a toxic person, you could have some toxic traits about yourself that you might need to work on in the moment. And it's not saying that you're a bad person. It's just that sometimes we don't know things about ourselves because nobody ever called it out. Nobody ever said nothing. And people will say things about you behind your back, but they will never say nothing to your face. So that's one thing I'll say. If you come and work with me, I will 100% always be truthful with you, because I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. And I'm also not going to lead you in a direction that is going to be bad for you. I'm also not going to coddle anybody, because we're all growing. And in order for you to grow, it has to feel comfortable. Uncomfortability is just normal when you're growing. It's like growing pains. But like attracts like energy. So if you want to attract what you want to attract, you have to be in that energy. If you want to have money in your life, you have to make sure that you know that you're not in a lack mindset, because being in a lack mindset is going to attract lack. If you're worried and stressed about not being able to pay your bills, you're going to get more bills. It's like more bills. The bills is piling up. Why? Because you're stressed about it. You got to understand that. Don't worry about what the problem is. You need to worry about what the solution is. Worry about how to fix this, because it's like if you focus on what you want to manifest, it'll be easier to manifest it. If you focus on the problem, it's going to create more problems. It's like you want to pay attention to it because your mind is being drawn to it, because that's something that your energy is in. But when you have the ability to say, wait a minute, I understand right now that I'm in this energy where I'm possibly going to be attracting more of what I don't want. So I'm going to actually put my energy into this instead of worrying about it, instead of stressing and letting it just eat me up. I'm going to put my energy into this, which will help me grow. This is going to help me benefit for myself, and it's going to help me moving forward. That's what you're attracting. That's when you attract it. Law of attraction right there. Then we have the law of inspired action. Taking aligned actions is necessary to manifest desires. For example, when you start doing something, it's going to be able to help manifest the outcome. Just the same way as I said, as above, so below. If you want to be a millionaire, you gotta do things that millionaires would do. If you want to be able to be somebody who has a lot of money, you gotta learn how to manage your finances. It's taking steps in the direction you want so that you can achieve the goal. You can't just expect to get the goal, and then when you get it, you're not going to be able to hold it. I mean, you can, and then when you get it, you're just gonna be like, you gotta want to be prepared. That's why when you are manifesting, it's like you plant the seed, and then you work, and then after you work, you wait for a period, and then your seeds are going to harvest. It's literally like planting. Law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Energy is constantly changing form. You can transform negative energy into positive. Hold on 1 second so I can take a drink of water. All right, so excuse me. So law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Energy is constantly changing form. You can transform negative energy into positive energy. When you transform negative energy to a positive energy, you are taking a negative and making it into a positive, taking a situation that's meant to bring you down and actually use it to bring you up instead. So you don't have to worry about being stuck in a position where you don't want to be in. It's like if somebody's trying to catch an animal and the animal sees a snack in there, and you trying to you know that if you go get the snack, you're going to get caught in a trap. But instead, you're like, I'm not going to get stuck in a trap. I'm actually going to go, either one, find a way that I can get it out the contraption, or two, I'm going to go find something else to eat. Like, and then that something else you eat will be better because you're not going to feel like you were trapped in that situation. Here we got the law of cause and effect. Dun dun dun. Every action has a corresponding reaction. Choice creates outcome. Exactly. So how you move is going to affect your life. The way that you act, the way that you move, the actions that you make is going to affect you. The people that you have around you is going to affect you. So you got to make sure the people you have in your life and the people that are around you and even yourself are acting according to what you want to happen in life instead of acting according to what you don't want to happen. Because if you do it according to what you don't want to happen, then you're literally going to be like, dang, I knew I was going to be in this situation. Yeah. It's like understanding, like, you do something, something's going to happen. That is the law of the universe. Sorry. Law of compensation. The universe rewards effort and service, balancing giving and receiving. So the more effort you put into something, the more you'll be rewarded. And that's to say, if you work on yourself, right? You work on yourself. You don't necessarily get money because you work on yourself. But what you get out of that is you get the opportunity to be able to get your own money. You'll be able to grow yourself to the point where you can get money. You can be able to build yourself to the point where you can have money. So it's like what you put into it, you will get effort. You will get blessed from it. You will get gifts for it. But it comes with you putting that effort into yourself. You become something better. Or the same thing as if you Twitch stream or something like that, or if you play video games. The more energy you put into it, the more you're going to get rewarded throughout that. You're going to unlock more things. You're going to unlock achievements. You're going to get more followers and subscribers. It's easier for you to move through it because you're getting compensated as you're going through, but it's not necessarily like, oh yeah, you're getting money from it. It's just, it's equaling out. Sometimes these things don't, like when situations are set up for you to not receive what you're supposed to receive, those are situations where it's like they're draining you, but you'll end up getting compensated in a different way in your life. But it'll be easier if you just, cut off anything that doesn't actually resonate with you, anything that's not really making your life head towards the direction you want to go to. Then we have the law of relativity. Everything is relative. Challenges are opportunities for growth. It's literally saying what it is. Everything is relative. Everything is, it just relates to everything. Everything relates. Everything is connected. Everything that you go through can create a better version of you. Law of polarity. Everything has an opposite. Understanding contrast helps achieve balance. So when you're going through situations, right? If you've ever been in a toxic relationship, or if you've seen a toxic relationship, you heard of the term toxic relationship. People who are in toxic relationships, if they have never been in a toxic relationship, it's hard for them to actually know they're in a toxic relationship, especially if they've never seen a healthy relationship. If people have seen a healthy relationship, then they know that they're in a toxic relationship, and it gives them the ability to see that this is a wrong choice or if this is a good choice. But if you don't have the contrast, you'll never be able to see it for yourself. Then we also have the law of rhythm. Life moves in cycles. Recognizing patterns helps navigate highs and lows. So recognizing that, yes, sometimes you might have a good run, a good streak in life, but you also recognize that even though you have a good run and good streak, those moments can also go down because life moves in cycles. You can always go up on the top of the wheel, you can go down to the bottom of the wheel. So you have to recognize that there's always those opportunities. It's like also like a pendulum. Like if you're swinging like this, it goes up and it goes down, it goes up and it goes down. When it's up, this is the moments that you have the ability to understand what cycles repeat in your life, things that constantly happen. If you have a constant cycle of like you going through things and then you spending a lot of money, then you getting money again, and then you spending a lot of money, and you getting money again, and you spending a lot of money, you understand that you're gonna get a lot of money at another point in time. So when you get that money again, you understand that this time when you get the money, you're going to make sure that you do something that's going to not knock you off or make you feel down when you are not getting as much money. You're going to make sure that you have the ability to still have money, or you're still going to be able to eat if it does happen that when it does go down again, and then you'll be back again, and then you'll be able to compile that. So it's just taking the time to recognize that yes, there will be ups and downs, but you know that the downs are not going to be forever. The ups will come again. And when those ups come again, you can make sure that when you go through the down is not the same down as what you would have went through before. If you pay attention to what the downs are, then you'll understand how to avoid the down, because you know the down will probably try to come up again, but you'll be prepared because you've worked on yourself and you understood that this is my moment for learning, for growth, and not to just sit here and feel like I'm a victim to my circumstances. This is my time that I can use to grow and overcome things. And then we have the law of gender. Masculine and feminine energies exist in all things. Balance is essential. I actually did I think my very, 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 very first TikTok live was actually on the laws of the universe. And I also spoke about how the law of gender worked within the world. I spoke about how masculine and feminine energies exist in all things. So when you talk about masculine and feminine energies, you're thinking about the actions of doing and the actions of getting, like the building. Those are technically masculine traits, but the feminine traits are typically ones that are more passive, more like intuition, caring, like those are ones. But when you're a person, you don't have to be all one or the other. You don't have to be black or white. You can harvest certain energies, but still be what you prefer to be. So it's a certain thing of I use certain energies to help me in certain ways. You just got to make sure that you're paying attention to which ways that you're using your energies, because if you're a woman, you can use your masculine energies for you to do your work, but then you use your feminine energy to be in your relationships, or when you're around people who you're comfortable with and you have your boundaries with. Like you can maneuver through your energies, or you can, if you're a masculine, you can get into your feminine energy. So one, you can connect better with other people so that you can understand people better, so that you can see people in a different way. Because when you're stuck in one energy, you see things from one perspective. And when you're able to balance it out, then you'll be able to see things in multiple perspectives. You'll be able to see things from a way of, okay, maybe this is not the way to handle it, because this situation wouldn't end out good if I did that. And that's using your intuition. But if you go in a situation just strictly off of dominance, then you're going to possibly get a reaction that you don't necessarily want. And sometimes we have to be able to determine which situations and what energy is going to be necessary for us to react, so that we can actually have a good conversation, or for us to actually live the life that we want for ourselves. If you're able to pay attention to the things that are around you, it'll help you bring balance. It's like if somebody's putting you into a confusing situation. I think I made a TikTok about this the other day. I said if somebody puts you into a confusing situation, that energy of you going to balance that out by you having a conversation with them, you will have that moment of, that's you letting your guard in. That's using your feminine energy to go into a situation with like an open mind, being able to be receiving of energy, be receiving of what the conversation will bring to you, instead of going into the situation in a masculine energy, which is like my way or the highway. This is what I said and this was getting done. So it's like you'll be able to understand which situation persists for you to use which energy. You don't always have to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, like, you don't have to do too much sometimes. You just have to recognize what's necessary. And you can understand what are your strengths. sometimes you have these energies within you, and it's like people will look at them as a negative within you. But the things that people tend to see as a negative trait because they don't have it, those are the traits that are typically your superpowers. And when I say superpowers, I'm saying this in a way of these are the reasons why you are special. These are the reasons why you are great. But if you are able to see it and use it for a way that'll benefit you and not hurt other people, because you know how when superheroes, they don't know how strong they are, they don't know what their power does to other people, they tend to hurt people they care about, right? So when you have these traits that people, they see in you and they're like, dang, that's a fire trait. I wish I had that trait. That's the trait that you need to work on so that you can actually build it so that it can work for you and not the other way around. Because when you have a tool, the tool is supposed to be used and it's not supposed to use you. Same thing with a talent. I think of talents as tools. The same way as people try to use their talents to get money, money is a tool, so you shouldn't have to use your talent to you shouldn't have to use your tool to get another tool. That's dumb. So you want to get you want to make sure that your tool is getting you what you want in life, and that's supposed to be personal happiness. The money, the other tool, will come along with it. You literally naturally obtain the money with it because you're obtaining all these tools on your belt as you're getting to your happiness, as you're building your house. You're getting all these tools on your belt, and it just all accumulates. It's just like when you're building your seeds. When you're planting your seeds. When you plant your seeds, you water them, you water them, you water them, you water them, and eventually, like the sun's gonna keep, over time, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow. You just have to make sure that you're being consistent, not only with the things that you're doing in life, but just with yourself. Because when you're consistent to yourself, the rest of your life will naturally follow. It's this law of correspondence. Law of compensation, and a lot of these laws actively work together, but you have to be able to, one, not be trying to, like, don't be trying to act like you can fool the universe, because you cannot. The universe understands, so whatever you put out, you will get back. Let me tell you this. So this is the reason why I never ever like think like bad things about people, because when I was in the past, when I first got in my spiritual journey, I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna tell y'all that story. I just gotta tell you, it's just like you just can't think bad about people, because it's like you have to make sure that you what you want for yourself, what you want for others is going to be for you. So that's why it's a law of correspondence. If you want bad for other people, you will get bad in your own life. And I'm not saying like I was wishing bad. It's just like I felt like there was a point in time where people was like, people was like they were bullying me. But I don't see things as bullying, but technically speaking, you would have to call it bullying, because it was more than one person against one person. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my effort into my work. I'm going to put my effort into what I'm doing. And this was in the past. And so that's why I was like, when I was doing that, I was like, okay, but when my mindset was more like, I'm going to beat them at this. And that's why I was like, you know what? Actually, no. Once you start being an energy of, this is not about other people, it's not about competition, then you get out of that mindset. But in the position that I was in, it was competitive. So that's why it was like that. And that's why you have to make sure you're being in atmospheres that are conducive to your energy. Because if you're in energies that are like that, then it's going to surround your whole life. Like if you are in an energy of if you're not a person who's naturally a competitive person, you don't like to be competitive, but you're put in a position where you have to be competitive, then you're going to feel competitive. But if you focus based it on yourself, on your own personal growth, then you won't have to feel like you're competing with anybody, and then you won't feel like you have a cap, or you won't feel like you have a goal. You will feel like your happiness is literally the full picture. It's not about, oh yeah, this one thing's going to make me happy. No, overall, I got to be happy. Overall, no matter what I do, I gotta be happy in the situation. So it doesn't matter if I try to do this or that, or do this or that, because what I choose to do, I know that that's in my best interest. And that's what it's important about, really understanding yourself and knowing yourself. And one, just trust yourself. Trust that you're going to make the best decision for yourself, because if you feel it in your heart, you really know that that's something that's going to either make you happy or make you upset. So you have to know that you don't want to choose things that are not going to really make you flourish or make you happy overall. If you choose things that are not going to really benefit you, it's only going to continue to hinder you. But you know what? I want to say thank you guys so much. I'm about to get off. I know I've been on for a little bit, and you know, I think this is a new record. I don't think I've ever been on this long. And look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock when I said that. But thank you guys so much for tapping in with me today. I appreciate everything that you guys do. If you guys ever want to support, always just support by sharing, liking, subscribing to the content, commenting, showing some love. If you do want to donate, you could donate to Venmo. My Venmo is Kas the Bestie, KASTHEBESTIE. If you want, you can sell me, but you're gonna have to email me for that bookie. But thank you guys so much for tapping in with me today. And I appreciate everything. Oh, and also, if you want to book your emergency meeting, you can head out to castthebestie.com today, immediately. And you can set up your emergency meeting with me, schedule your own time. It's 1 hour session, and you'll be able to talk about anything for this time. It's not limited to one question. You're free to talk about anything, and it's a non-judgment zone. No judgment in the soul. So make sure that you head over there. If you would like to find more information, or if you just want a consultation, email me info@castthebestie.com, because there I'll be able to speak with you and understand what you are looking for out of the situation and how you believe that I can truthfully help you, because I give my services out so that I can help other people grow past circumstances that are keeping them stuck. And if you feel like my services are for you, then you have to reach out, because who's going to help you but me? No, if you can always go to God, you can pray, but I'm that little liaison that I have for you, because you know I use my direct connection to source so that I can guide myself through my own life. And it took me to places that I was able to obtain knowledge so that I can help you guys. So thank you guys so much. It's been your girl, Kas the Bestie. And again, email me, info@kasthebestie. If you want to take a consultation session, I got you. And I will be back with you guys very, 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 very soon.